Hi there, and welcome to my VAlife interview with the lovely Amy Russell of Crescent Virtual Assistant. I'm thrilled to have her here today to share a little bit about her current business journey, how the Nurture program's helped her. We're really passionate here about sharing authentic stories from VAs in the industry. So yeah, I'm thrilled to have the lovely Amy here with us today. So welcome, Amy.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hello. So, Amy, can you tell us a little bit about you, your business, your background, and basically what makes you tick?
Yeah, so I started my admin career 25 plus years ago now, which is quite scary.
Yeah.
And I started on the old youth training scheme. So I was an apprentice effectively. Never heard of administration, didn't know what I was really signing up for. But within weeks, I'd just fallen in love with administration and everything that went with it. So my career's just built from there, really. But then last year, I was working as an employed virtual assistant, effectively. So I was working for a business, but working remotely, and I just loved the whole concept of it. But it got to a point where they didn't need me for as many hours, and so I made the decision to leave, and then didn't really know what to do. And then I thought, well, I like working from home and I'm good at administration and setting systems up and things. And some people that I'd been working with had said to me, oh, can you support me with this and this? And I'd always had to say no because it was a conflict.
Yes.
And so I contacted them and said, if I was to do this, would you still need support? And a couple of them bit my hand off.
Brilliant.
So from that, Crescent Virtual Assistant Limited was born, really. That kind of all happened on the Thursday, and by the Sunday, I'd registered with Companies House, I'd got a name, I'd started building my logo, I'd got 2 clients, and yeah, that was last July, believe it or not.
That's amazing. And the power of kind of reaching out to your existing community as well, and like ending up starting your business and having reached out, you've got those clients in place, must have been a really amazing feeling.
Yeah, it was so good because it gave me something to start with, because I think it's really hard starting a business from nothing. And you know, there's nothing worse than sort of putting a lot of effort and time and money into setting up a business and then still not getting the clients. I think it's so demoralizing, because you spend so much time saying, what have I done wrong? What have I done wrong? So like you say, by having that client to start with, it meant as well I had some real life examples that I could share with people. Sure. So when I was talking to potential clients or people who were saying, well, tell me about what you do so I can see how I can put you in touch with other people, you know, I was able to say, well, I'm currently supporting X, Y, and Z. And I think that just helped give me a bit of credibility, which again is really important with a new business. You know, and without that, I think it would have taken me longer to get clients as well. So
definitely. And I guess, as you say, that gives you that real life example you can use when you're talking to people about how you can actually help them. You can reflect on the experiences you've already had, which is a bit easier. Easier to actually demonstrate how you can help them. So thinking about how you do help your clients then, so what services, offering systems do you offer to clients, and what would you say you kind of specialise in?
Yeah, so I offer the full range of sort of traditional PA type skills, so diary management, inbox management, travel arrangements, research, typing, that kind of thing. But I also offer social media management as well. So, you know, I'm not a copywriter, but I can put content onto social media platforms, and I can schedule and manage responses and things like that. And funnily enough, one service that I offer, which has taken off and I didn't think it would do, is basic bookkeeping.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so I used to work, when I was an employed VA, I did all of their bookkeeping using Xero, and it's a system that I love. And so I just said to one particular client, oh, I see you use Xero. Did you know that I can also do this for you? And again, they sort of jumped on it and said, great, there you go.
Fabulous.
Off you go. Here's the accountant. Here's all the invoices. Knock yourself out. And that's just grown really. So yeah, I guess you could say that's kind of my specialist area really, is, as I say, basic bookkeeping. And again, you know, I'm not an accountant. I don't profess to be an accountant. I make that very clear to all my clients that I work with their accountant in terms of the VAT returns and corporation tax returns and that sort of thing. But their day-to-day processing of receipts and invoices and sending those out is something that they can outsource to me. And actually, there's quite a sort of good sized accountant in the centre of Leeds where I'm based, and I'm working with one of their clients now, and they've said to me that they're really pleased that I'm on board doing the bookkeeping, because they know it's going to get done and it's going to get done correctly, and you know, so when they come to do the VAT return, they're not chasing up for the last year's worth of accounts.
What a fab testimonial.
Yeah, and it's really nice when you get clients say to you, oh, I'm so glad, you know, my accountant said it was so nice that they didn't have to chase for the accounts because they were already all processed, and I did, you know, the client says I didn't have to do anything to get to that point. You know, so yeah, it's really good when you hear things like that.
Brilliant. Well, it's just, yeah, real results from real clients, and like there's nothing, as you know, there's nothing more powerful than word of mouth testimonials and stuff, so that's fabulous.
Yeah.
So I know that you also have kids, so how do you, this is always something people always ask me, especially when they're getting started, how on earth do you currently juggle business and personal life?
Business and personal life. So I must admit, I'm very lucky in that I have a completely separate office. It's a completely separate building, so I can get that shut off from work and home. It's very rare that I have to take my work into the house, as it were. So I do think that helps. I think having a separate space for your business is so important. And I'm not just talking about the corner of the dining room table. You know, if you can get a separate bedroom or a conservatory or something, I think that's really important. I make a point of you know, not answering phones or emails on an evening, so that is my family time, and coordinating my diary with my husband's. So we try and make sure that neither of us is at the other end of the country at the same time as the other, so that there's always somebody here for our daughter. Thankfully she's a bit older now, she's nearly 12, so she can be fairly self-sufficient. So I don't have to do the school run anymore, but again, I like to make sure that one of us is here for that school run, so if there's a problem, you know, she has got access to us. And I try to rarely book meetings and calls over the school drop-off time. So when she comes in from school, she knows she can come in and she can talk to me about her day. I can help her with homework, you know, and things like that, and just be there for her. And the beauty of working for yourself and having your own business is that the, you know, school shows or sports days or trips or anything like that, I can say, right, well, I'm not going to work that afternoon because I want to go to the school play. And I just, you know, I tell my clients I'm not in the office this afternoon. And they're all fine with that. If there's anything that's time critical, I will make sure it's done before I go to that event. You know, I think it's just about communication, so within your family. So again, if I do need to book a meeting over school time, pick up time, for instance, I will let my daughter know, you know, I'm not going to be here when you get home tonight, so she knows when she walks into the house that there's a reason I'm not there. And then I will always ring her when I'm coming home to say, I'm on my way home, how's your day been? And we'll have a chat in the car, and just catch up that way. So yeah, it's working well. It is a juggle. There's been times when I've put something in and my husband's put something in and we've not talked, and it's like,
oh no.
So yeah, luckily it's not been a massive issue, but I think communication is massive with that, really. Yeah.
And I guess setting those boundaries in the outset with your clients to say, for example, that you're not going to be around in evenings and weekends, and that, you know, I know previously to this that you've got the school run and things like that. That's kind of really important to get that in place, so that they know the demands on your time.
Exactly. And to be honest, most of my clients, they've got children as well. So when I say, you know, oh, I've got to go to do the school run, or sorry, I couldn't take your call, I was doing some homework with my daughter, that, oh yeah, we've got all that to come, ours is only at primary school, or and so you have that conversation with them. And I don't think I've ever had a client have a problem with me saying I can't do that because I need to pick my daughter up, or I've got to go to this for school, or whatever reason. I think if you're open with people and say what your reason is for not being able to attend at that time, people are very, very understanding.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm sure that's credit to you in the fact that you're open with them and that you've communicated with them about your situation. But actually, as you say, and your clients understand what that's like, then comes, they know that you're going to deliver on the work. They just know there's other demands on your time.
Yeah.
So, what would you say, Amy, is the best thing for you about running your own business?
I think that would be the flexibility. So obviously we're just talking about family life and things. So having that flexibility, but also being able to do something that I love, and to really focus on the things that I love doing. So I'll be honest, I'm not good at research. I don't particularly like research. I offer that as a service, but I'm in a very fortunate position now where I've got a great associate that when I get a research task in, I know that I can delegate that to her, and she loves research. She really, really enjoys it. So, for me, it's being able to pick and choose as well what tasks I want to do, but having that full support there so that I can still deliver to the client at the end of the day. Yeah,
brilliant. And obviously you've mentioned there that you've got an associate on board in your business, which is really practicing what you preach there in terms of delegating and growing your own.
Definitely. Well, I've actually got three associates working with me now, all with different skill sets, all amazingly talented ladies, who've really been able to add value to my business and the level of support that we can add to give to our clients. So
that's wonderful. That's brilliant. And you only started last year, which is...
I know. I keep having to pinch myself. It's like, what's happened in the past 10 months or so?
Bit of a whirlwind. And then equally, this is always a bit of a funny question, but what would you say is the worst thing about running a business?
The worst thing about running a business, I think uncertainty. Is a big one. So, and because obviously when you're employed, that within reason, if you turn up, you do your job, you're going to get paid at the end of the month. If you have a week off poorly, you're still going to get paid at the end of the month. If you take 2 weeks off to go on holiday, you still get paid the same amount at the end of the month. Obviously, when you're self-employed, you've got your own business. When you're big enough and you've got a team who can still generate that income for you, that's great. But there was a time last year where I'd got a pre-booked holiday. I took a week off, and of course I didn't earn anything in that week. And so at the end of the month, it's, will there be enough to cover the bills this month, type of thing. Thankfully now I'm in a position where I had a week off at the beginning of April, went overseas for the week, and because of my associates, the business kept going without me being here. So this month I've not had to worry about the lack of income, where is my next income coming from. But I guess there is always that uncertainty down the line that a client could turn around and say, actually, we've got no more budget to have you, or we've actually decided to bring somebody on board into the business to do what you were doing. So it's kind of a constant, you can't ever sit on your laurels and go, oh, I've got enough clients now, I don't need any more. You've constantly got to keep looking for the next contract, the next client, and I think that's probably one of the worst things about business, really.
I echo that. I completely, as a business owner, I think for all the fabulous things you do get about running your own business, the uncertainty, no matter what kind of business you run, when you run your own business and you're not an employee, the uncertainty of not knowing what the next month or 3 months is going to bring is hard to bear. you can mitigate it to a certain extent with retainer clients, so you know what's coming in the next month.
Yeah.
But most of those are on sort of 30 days notice anyway, so it's kind of knowing that long-term plan, isn't it? But as you say, I think knowing that you have to constantly be marketing your business and have that pipeline of clients is important. But no, I echo that completely. Just the certainty would be good if we can get that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then for obviously you did the nurture program with me last year, which was fabulous. And how would you say taking part in that program has helped you to kind of get your business off the ground, or to where it is now, I guess?
Yeah, so it was really good to have kind of like a plan of with the different modules. So I knew, I was going to look at my like ideal clients and setting up my business, and the difference between sole trader, limited company, all of that kind of support. It was really good to have that there. And I still actually refer back to some of the documents that I use. So like my ideal client, I have a task in Asana every month to look back at that document and refresh it and see, is that still my ideal client, or has that changed? And some of it also was a bit of a reassurance that actually, yes, what I'm doing and what I'm thinking is what I should be doing and what I should be thinking. So that was really good. But I think the main thing for me, the main element of it was having the support, so like from yourself and from other members within the group, being able to just jump on and say, has anybody encountered this before? Or I don't know what to do with this situation, or I can't get this to work in my Word document. Can somebody, help me with it? And just having a huge group of fellow virtual assistants jumping on and saying, yes, I've been in that situation and here's how I handled it, or try to, Control Alt and this letter will help you with that problem. And I'm now finding I'm in a position where I'm helping other VAs as well, and that's really good, being able to give something back. There's and actually one of my associates, I think I met through the VA Hub group, so that was really good. But yeah, I think the support has been invaluable, really, because it can be quite a lonely place, sort of working on your own. And you're not in a big office where you can shout across to somebody, say, how do I do this, or what did you say to that person when that happened? And so having that support there is just, it's been worth so much to me.
It's the power of community, isn't it? And I totally agree. When I started back in 2013, it's the isolation was one of the things that I struggled with most, because you go from an employed role where you've got a team around you, and then suddenly, as you say, you are completely isolated. In business. And having somebody to bounce ideas off of and have, or to give you advice on things is essential, whatever stage of the journey you're at. So
definitely.
Brilliant. I'm really pleased that it helped you.
Yeah, it has.
So what one piece of advice would you, because I know you said that you're helping other people now, which is fabulous. It's so good when you get to give back. But what one piece of advice would you give to people that are right at the beginning of their journey, perhaps thinking about signing up to Nurture, thinking about starting their VA journey? What one piece of advice would you give to them?
Oh, that's a tricky one.
Sorry, you can do two if you want.
Can I do 20? I think the main piece of advice I would give is to be true to yourself and be really clear about what you want to get out of having this business. Be that, you want to be able to earn a certain level of income, or you want to work with a certain group of people, or you want to offer a certain type of support. So I found, it's funny, I was talking to my husband about this literally about half an hour ago. When I first started, I took on any client. I was happy. It's a client, it's business, it's money. Yay! Great, I've got a client. And some of them are on lower rates than I am happy with, shall we say. Some of the tasks I was doing, I wasn't happy with doing them. They weren't my ideal client, they weren't my ideal rate. And that got a bit demoralizing, and it did make me question, why am I doing this? So I think, be really clear what you're prepared to do, what your lowest rate is that you would go to be able to earn an income, and what you're actually happy doing, and really, you know, stick to that. And it is hard saying no to a client. I've done it a couple of times, and you do kind of sit there afterwards and go, oh my God, what have I just done? But then a week down the line, you will go, I'm glad I made that decision and stayed true to my business model.
I think that's such great advice, because I think certainly you can be in the danger of starting a business and thinking it has to look a certain way, or you have to provide certain services, or, you know, be it a VA means that you have to be social media savvy or be able to build WordPress websites. And the reality is, you're right, you've got to just stay true to what it is that you enjoy doing, the types of clients that you enjoy working with, and the way that you want to work, and what you want to charge, because in the end, you don't want that resentment from taking on clients that are paying you a lot less, and it's quite hard to get people to move up, isn't it?
Yes.
If only. But no, I think that's really, really great advice, because certainly, as I say, when I first started, I thought that it had to look a certain way, but actually you're in control of determining how your business actually looks.
And that's it. You know, it's your business, you are in control, and you know, it's not like an employed role where you've got somebody saying you need to do this, you need to say that, you need to follow this process. You choose what you do, what you say, what process you follow, and I think that's what did help with the Nurture course. As I got further into it, I kind of wish I'd been able to start the course before I'd started the business, if that makes sense. Because it really helped me crystallize what was important and where my value was. And you know, I'm not just an admin assistant, you know, I'm a very highly skilled, you know, well qualified individual that can bring a wealth of support to a business. And if that business doesn't see that value, then they're not the right client.
Absolutely. And I think that's exactly right. And you were saying about being able to say no, or having to say no sometimes, and it is difficult, particularly at the outset when you are it's a client, it's exciting, but it's got to be the right client that's going to value you as that business owner, as that skilled business owner that you are. Absolutely right. Well, look, Amy, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day.
My pleasure.
And to tell other people about kind of who you are and your journey as a VA as well. If people want to get in touch with you, where can they find you? What's your website and your social media handles?
So my website is crescentva.co.uk. I'm on Twitter and Facebook as at Crescent VA UK. And if you search me on LinkedIn, you will find me. I'm all over LinkedIn. I think it's Amy Russell 3, but if you Google Amy Russell, and my face will pop up. And I'd love to connect with people on LinkedIn. I love supporting people on LinkedIn. I think it's a brilliant platform for business. So hope to see some more connections on there.
Brilliant. Well, look, have a really good rest of your day, and I will speak to you soon.
Yes, and you. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.